that's so disheartening to be like, oh, you finally have made it. You finally been noticed.
One time my life was on another lifeline. A curved spine, I knew my health was on decline. I show up as if I'm fine. I ask, carry a feeling, but guess I am the punchline. Inside a part of me is dying. I wish I could have said I was lying.
Welcome back to another episode of the SUGA CRAVE Show. My couple days have been fantastic. Just coming back from Thanksgiving break. Man, so much food we had. I think Thanksgiving has to be one of my favorite holidays from them all. I don't know why, but I just love the just that bondness of creating food together as a family. Unfortunately, this year I didn't get to spend time with my family up in Washington, but it was a little small one. It was just me, Kareen, and our friend Anna, and it was small, intimate, and it was great. Honestly, I loved. There was a point that we were all like cooking together, and it was just so much fun. It was it felt like I was in like that, like a Gordon Ramsay show of Top Chef or some shit. And it was it was fun, just, I don't know. I love cooking. Something about cooking just kind of gets me into a zone that I can focus. I can listen to music. We had like this Thanksgiving playlist on Spotify. Check that shit out. That's like the best music playlist that I've listened to for a very, very long time. It wasn't like a holiday theme, but it wasn't like so random. It was all these classical musics. It had Marvin Gaye. It had the Bee Gees. It was just and it had some new stuff too. And it was just a very kind of like soothing music that's like fun to cook with. And I think those two paired well together, like cooking and music, food and music. It's just those two pairs are so great, especially like an event like that, like Thanksgiving. Everything's warm. It's just very comforting, if that makes sense. But yeah, Thanksgiving, what we did this year, we didn't want to go over top because for three people, for a whole turkey, that's a lot of meat getting wasted. So what I did this year, I made turkey breast. It was a boneless turkey breast, and it was kind of hard to find. I wish I went to Whole Foods and found one, but we just went to Ralph's, and there was one that was pre-marinated, and I didn't know till after I bought it and I defrosted, and I was like, "What the fuck's on this thing?" But luckily, I got to wash it off. I put some white wine on that bad boy. Here. I'm gonna give you guys the sugar tip on how to cook a turkey breast for any event, any party you have. So you grab a turkey breast. You can even do this with a whole turkey. Shout out to my mom. My mom taught me how to cook a turkey, how to prep it and all that stuff. So what you grab is that turkey, the whole turkey or turkey breast. So what I did, I grabbed the turkey breast, cleaned it off. You should always do that with all your meats. I learned that when I was working at Whole Foods. You should clean all your meats, even your steaks, kind of like rinse them off, because there's sometimes like when they cut it on the machine, there's like this like bone residue or even this fat residue that's on top of it. They're supposed to clean it, but sometimes they don't. So I clean everything, clean my poultry, my meats, and so even my fish too. So I cleaned it, trying to get all that marinated off. It was still on there, but I said fuck it, and so I grab like a plastic bag. You get a trash bag too, depending on the size of your meat or of your bird. And then you just put the white wine. What kind of white wine? I think we used like a dry white wine. I think Cabernet. Yeah, we used Cabernet, and so I doused it. You know what I mean? Depending on the whole, like for a whole turkey, I would put a whole bottle in there. And you get like a cheap Cabernet. It doesn't have to be like an expensive bottle. You can get like, you can even go to Trader Joe's, get like the $2 ones. So you do that. You let it brine for like overnight. If you can, do 24 hours before you cook it. And I swear to God, it helps so much when it comes to letting it, keep the moisture inside. Every time I have turkey anywhere else, it's always fucking dry. And I think that's why people make gravy, because fucking turkey gets so dry sometimes that you just need to douse some shit on cranberry or fucking gravy. But I hate that shit. I hate dry fucking turkey. I think that's why a lot of people hate turkey, because it's so fucking dry sometimes. And it's even with the breast of the usually breast meat is so easily it's so easy to dry it out when not cooking it properly. So brining it helps it keeps the juices inside of it, and it's just a great technique. And then what I did this year, I cut some slices in like in the middle and stuff, and I put butter pieces. I put like a couple carrots in there. So I did like 3 slices, and I put them like in the middle. So so when the meat cooks, the butter melts inside the turkey in the middle to kind of give it more flavor and stuff like that. The carrots give it the sweetness. I don't know, man. This year it came out really great. I put some rosemary, some thyme on top, salt and pepper. Just keep it simple, man. There's some people that put like fucking cayenne, and you know what I mean? That's just not me. For me, I like it to taste herby. I don't know. I just love that flavor on a turkey breast or like a whole turkey. I even put oranges too. I learned that from my grandfather. I saw my grandfather do that one time. And he does that with meat too. With carne asada, he put like oranges on top to keep it that sweetness. And my mom does it too. And I thought that was like the cool, like so interesting how you can mix. Like if you want something sweeter, you don't necessarily have to put like sugar or honey. You can just use fruit. And oranges go well with that, and it made it so well. And yeah, man, it was just so great. It was relaxing. I think I do like small gatherings when it comes to Thanksgiving, because you really don't have to, like with myself and Kareen and Anna, we just like know each other, so we can just pop up a movie and just like shoot the shit. And like, sometimes when you're in a family or you're with like your second like, it's your brother-in-law's family. And so you have to kind of, entertain everybody. And, the only hardest part about it is just the cooking. I feel like when it's a small one, it's just getting the food done and making it done properly. And then afterwards, you socialize, especially if you know one another, you don't have to socialize much, but when it's like a whole big shindig, for me, that's the hardest part, is trying to keep everything balanced. So you make sure that everybody's entertained, the food's going well, there's enough food and stuff like that. And this year we made a lot of food just for the 3 of us, but it was great. I loved it. We were watching fucking, Netflix shows and stuff like that. And it was just like, it was great. I had a great time drinking wine and just, relaxing, not be feeling so stressed. Because sometimes I think that's what's not talked about, is stress when it comes to family gatherings. Especially you come back. I remember I felt this when I came back to Full Sail. Because I graduated on Halloween. And then the following holiday is Thanksgiving. And so when I came back Thanksgiving, it just like, it was like, okay, what are you doing now? You graduate from college. What are you going to do now? And that was like so stressful because I didn't know. I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do. I didn't know if I was like going to, you know, try to find studio work or try to, you know, move to LA right away and stuff like that. And so it was so stressful to answer people that you feel like you shouldn't be answering to. But it, you know, it's not all bad. It's, you know, it's not like people that you don't care. Like for me, it's, you know, people that I care about and they're asking these questions. Like, you know, my mom and my relatives, and you know, they're asking, oh, so hey, great, you graduate from school. When's the time to work? And it's true, you do have to work right after you graduate, but that's the most stressful point of, I feel like, after a college graduate, is like, where the fuck am I gonna work at? And is it gonna pay enough to pay my rent and my student loans, if you have student loans? And so that's why I think I kind of stress about certain holidays. It's like you go back and now you got to answer, like, what are you doing? What's going on? Where, you know, are you guys having kids and stuff like that? It's just like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't, you know, I'm doing what I'm doing right now, taking day by day. In the past, I used to kind of fantasize in the future rather than just living at the moment. And you know, I'll be telling people, but like, yeah, well, I'm gonna be working, you know, setting up these projects and stuff, which was true, but it wasn't currently happening. It was like future plans, which is like, to me, I look at it, it's like, it's misconception. It's not really what you are necessarily doing, you're planning on doing. And I think it's great, especially if you you're trying to get people motivated. You're like, hey, you can do that. You know, it's time to do it now. You know, you have that thought in your mind, do it, you know? But I recently, I've just been kind of reinventing myself and just kind of be like, okay, since you are struggling living in the future or trying to live in the future, why don't you just live in the current situation you're at? And it's just, for me, it's better. Like yesterday, I just like organized everything. I was like, okay, I need to get super organized, you know, because I'm semi-organized, but I don't follow my my regimen to the T, and I need to, or else I get into a funk. And that's just me, you know. I think it could work for you too, if you. So what I did yesterday, I'll break it down. So yesterday, I just kind of digressed because I was just so stressed out of like trying to get projects done, because I've just been feeling so unmotivated to do a lot of stuff because of the stress level. But it's not the job itself. It's because the job itself could be done easily. But it's just myself getting to that level of that stress point. And so what I did, I was like, okay, time to clean up everything. Try to reorganize what I need to do, get on a schedule, follow that schedule. Doesn't have to be, you know, oh, this o'clock, you're going to start doing this. This, you know, at this time, you're going to do this. Just start broad, start like, you know, like today, it was like, okay, shoot and edit, you know, the podcast. Cool. So I'm doing that now. And then afterwards you feel good. You're like, oh shit. Okay, cool. I got it done. It was on the schedule. I could cross it off. So I have like 3 kind of like confirmations. So I have one in my calendar. I have one written down, and then I have one, on my wall calendar. So that helps me to make sure it's like, okay, you marked it off 3 times, so it's done. You know, you completed it, and for me, it feels good. I'm like, oh, cool. Even if I get just that one done today, I feel great afterwards because I'm like, hey, I did something. It's not like I didn't do anything. Because before, I would do stuff and not have a schedule or anything. I would just like even write on my notepad to do, and I would cross it off, and I'd be like, at the end of the day, I still would feel like, man, I feel like I didn't do much. I feel like, I was like fucking around and stuff like that. And now it's much better. I'm kind of I don't know how you say it, like kind of like reinventing, not reinventing, kind of like like reinstalling my my to do or my strategies, because like, it's not working. It wasn't working for the past 3-4 months, and it's put me behind. And so now this new reinventment of, my structure, it's so far it's working better, and I'm feeling much better. And I think that's the key, guys. It's really the key of trying to find your structure, your point, and where you can take yourself in the next day, next week, next month, next several years, to the point that will get yourself there, either physically, mentally, career wise. Do what you have to do to get you at that level that will make you. For me, I just want to be content. I don't want to be like overly excited. I don't want to be underly, depressed. I just want to be content to where I'm at. And I think that's the goal for everybody. Finding an affordable recording studio to rent is quite difficult now these days. A lot of them are requiring you to pay a minimum of $50 up to $250 an hour. But luckily, I came across this great recording studio called Pirate Studios. They have tons of mini studios in one facility, and what's so cool about it, they're all around the world. They have one here in LA, a couple in New York, and quite a bit in Europe. These are great facilities. They have everything that you need: microphones, keyboards, monitors, interface. All you need to do is plug in the USB to your laptop and you're ready to go. Luckily, I have a referral code for you guys to use. So if you put promo code RAUL 600435, you will get credit, and also I will get credit. Once again, this is an amazing studio. I think it'd be great for you guys to check out, and let me know what you guys think of your experience at Pirate Studios. But besides that, guys, yeah, Thanksgiving was great. Just kind of getting back to my, like, a new structure, and just kind of getting back into the music, man. A lot of my friends are putting out great music, and it's just like, before I would feel, to be honest, I would feel jealous, because I'm like, man, they're re-releasing music. I'm here just stuck in my little self. But now I'm just like super excited. I have, a good friend, IK, just came out with a new song. Andrea, she just came out with a new track, and they're all making great music. And it's just so exciting, speak about fucking music. I don't know about you guys seen the Grammy nominations. At least I'm going to try to speak for more the dance world. I don't know, guys. I think there's like this, a lot of people are upset about the nominations. Let me pull up the nominations right now. So, some of them I have never heard of. Just, to just be honest, I've just never, I just never heard of these, some of these artists, and just never heard of the music. And so, I'm not going to speak of being an expert of like, oh, I think so and so, but there is some artists that should be on this fucking, should be nominated, and they're not. And they have, like, one of them is Porter Robinson. This is like, it's just so upsetting, because like, this guy is just a genius music producer, performance artist. It was so cool. I saw a video of him having like a drum pad, and he's going to everybody in the front row and telling them, hey, push this, these two, to make that, to make it, to play the song. I think it was Language. I believe. But it was so interactive. It was so game changing when it came to a live show. Like, you don't see that. Like, the most interactive I've seen is, people jumping in the crowd or spraying champagne bottles and or bringing them on stage and throwing them off the stage. It's like I don't know. For me, that was such a game changer when it came to performance. What he did there, I was like, man, that's such a fucking genius idea. Grab the audience and have them play out one of the songs. And there it has been done in the past, like people pushing play on the DJ controller, but there's never been like, performing it in the electronic world. We definitely seen it in other realms, like, famously, Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl will grab somebody from the crowd and he was like, here, grab the guitar and play one of the famous songs, or a drummer. But never in the electronic world that I've seen in that realm. So I think there needs to be more categories, not just, best dance electronic recording or best, like album. There needs to be like a performance one. I feel like that'd be such a cool, like, there needs to be a new sections instead of just being like, best recording, best album, best, new artists and stuff like that. And you know what's so funny with some of the nominations, the best new artists, those artists has been on the fucking scene for years, almost a decade. And so that's so disheartening to be like, oh, you finally have made it. You finally have been noticed by the Academy. And so I feel like a lot of people just, at least for me, I feel like you discredit the Academy when they're like, oh, we finally find this new artist. It's like, no, this artist has been out there for years. It's just you discredit that artist because they're now famous. They've been putting out great shit. You know what I mean? There needs to be like a true music award, not like how many fucking followers you have on Instagram or how many plays you get on Spotify. Like, cause let's be honest, most of those artists that get shitloads of plays, it's just because of their integrity or the social status. It's not necessarily if the music's good or not. Not saying there isn't top artists that are putting out great music. They fucking are, like the Justin Bieber album. That was sick. People can fucking trash on Justin Bieber, but that motherfucker is a hardworking guy. And as in electronic world, there's so many electronic producers that were on there. Skrillex, Shindu, he's a fucking great producer as well. Check him out. He co-produced in Peaches with Harv. Harv, another great producer. And so that you know what I mean? The nominations, I don't, it's tough because sometimes I feel like it's just, a label push, or, someone's paying off somebody with some of these nominations. Because, like, let's be honest, there's like so many other electronic, like, artists, producers that are out there that are like in some of these lists that need to be on this list. Either you got to make the list bigger or we need to section it off more, because there's only two categories. There's best dance electronic recording and then best dance electronic music album. There needs to be like a performance. There needs to be like an underground electronic dance world. I don't know. Because it's hard, because with dance music and electronic music, it gets conflict. Because let's be honest, electronic music and electronic dance music is, it's different. It's not. They do coincide with some styles with it, but in some other worlds, it's like doesn't coexist with one another. So I think there needs to be more categories. There needs to be more emerging artists, because there's tons of emerging artists that are out there that are like, they're fucking killing it. They just need to be, they need to be on there. And maybe, I think the AMA, they do a pretty good job, but I think there needs to be more of a like a niche kind of, I don't know, a niche kind of categories, like best performance, like because I know we have the music video awards, but like live performance, creative performance, you know what I mean, like outrageous. I think it'd just be fun just to kind of like what I was thinking is like even a music producer award be like the most sound designer producer, you know what I mean? Like the most bassy, like top bass producer, top, I don't know, top house producer and stuff like that. I think it'd just be cool just to kind of bring people, feel proud that they're like in their genre and, they're not thrown into a fucking pile of, randos. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like don't get me wrong. If I get nominated for a Grammy, like something like this, I'll be fucking proud, but still it's like, I don't know. It's tough. I can say it now, but who knows if I am get in that position, which would be an honor, but also I would definitely fucking put it on my standpoint and be like, listen, this is like, yeah, I made it, but yet there's still tons of artists that are behind me or in front of me that it just do so, you know what I mean? Like I feel like especially Grammys, not a lot of people are seeking them. They already know it's all bullshit sometimes. And so, not sometimes, all the times. And so it's kind of nice that people are not really seeking. Like back in the day, in the 90s, you would want a Grammy. Now I feel like I see that less. I've talked to a lot of people. They're like, I don't give a fuck about the Grammy. As long as people love my music, that's all that matters. And I love that because you're not chasing for something that you might never get. I'm the same way. I'm really just want to make great music that I love. And if other people love it, hey, great. That's another plus. If they don't, hey, that's part of the game. And so, yeah, I just think the Grammys nomination this year is just it's bogus. I think it's just bogus. I don't see the uniqueness of it. For me, first of all, I just need more categories and just need to be, some of these artists that I've never heard of. It's great because then now I see them and I'm going to check out their music. I'm not going to be like, oh, fuck those people, I don't know them, because for me, that's just not a person I like. If I've never heard of that person, I'll check out their music. If that's when I'll judge them. I'll be like, yeah, I like it, or it's not for me and stuff. But I don't know. I just think a lot of artists like Porter Robinson should definitely be on this list this year, because he's definitely had pushed the limits on a lot of categories, and especially in the electronic dance world. So I don't know. That's what I think. But that's pretty much it, guys. I am gonna wrap this shit up. Let you go enjoy the rest of your week. For announcements, I'm coming up with more shit, guys. I'm getting back to the old, putting out more content, making sure I'm bringing back the playlist. I haven't been doing the playlist. I've been fucking lazy as fuck, so I'm getting back to that. There's going to be more breakdowns for, original music and from, great music that I've been digging up on the playlist. And so I'm going to do more breakdowns and then also more podcasts. And let me know what categories or topics you want me to discuss on the podcast, because I love that. Like today was just the Grammys. I really kind of wanted to talk about that. And then, Thanksgiving, I feel like it's always nice to kind of share, more of I like to talk about, more of the deeper insight, more thought, more, mental state kind of topics. Because me, I love gaining those, subjects, because it's interesting. It's really interesting to see how people react, or how people, feel, in certain situations, like that. If you could see in my interviews, I always talk about what made you, how did you feel when going through such and such, or what was the emotion behind this track and stuff. Because for me, it's great. Okay, if I know the idea of how you made that song, but it's also even great how emotionally it took you there, because it helps the listener or myself to understand the approach of the song and stuff like that. But yeah, guys, so pretty much it. I'm going to come out with a new remix pretty soon, so stay tuned on that. I'm still making more music. My beats are up on my website, on the official sugabrown.com/beats. You could go purchase my tracks there. There's, exclusive licensing. So if you buy a beat, that is yours. I don't own any percentage of that. That's yours to keep, to do whatever you want, and it's the only copy. No one else will have that copy, which is special. I used to do non-exclusive, and it was fucking me at the end, because a lot of people were like, "Hey, found this track somewhere else. What the fuck?" And I was like, shit. So it's all exclusive, so yours to keep, and yeah, guys, I just want to thank you so much. I got the Patreon up, and please sign up. It's only $1. You get extended versions of this podcast and other podcasts, and more content, behind the studios, and yeah, and pretty much everything. I'm gonna do more live streams up there, so it's just a benefit. And it's just $1 too. So, but thank you guys so much. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Trapped in this chess game.